My name is Lourdes DeArmas, and this is my master practice story. I'm a senior trial attorney at the Dolan Law Firm, and here we do catastrophic injury cases. We also do employment law cases, and any cases that are of public interest in social justice. I grew up in Burbank, California. My parents had recently immigrated over from Cuba. We grew up in a Spanish-speaking household. I remember as a small child getting cornered by the preschoolers because I didn't speak English. And I begged my dad not to let me go back. Slowly, by the second grade, I learned English. And from that moment on, it was off to the races. The goal was always to go to law school. So at a young age, I always thought I had to overachieve. I had to fight harder than everyone else did. Even as a child, I always had a sense of justice and always wanted to help people. And my mom would tell me stories that while my sisters were outside playing, I would be lining up the stuffed animals and I'd have court with Barbie prosecuting Ken. And it was just something that I always wanted to do. And there wasn't another career path that I was ever going to take. A lot of the passion for the law did come from the injustices that my grandmother would tell us that happened in her home country and how they weren't able to do a lot of things. And my grandfather fought against the system and he was incarcerated. So he was a political prisoner for a very long time. My mom instilled in us at a young age that education was everything and to do what we could to succeed. I think that still carries over with everything that I do. I was a single mom trying to manage, and there was hard times. I worked out in my kitchen for 7 years. And I worked harder, and I worked smarter, and knowing that in order to do justice for my client, I can't cheat them thinking that I can walk into the courtroom knowing everything there is to know and be able to rest on my laurels. One of the biggest challenges that I've had to overcome in the courtroom has been the language issue. It took me a while to just embrace the fact that I was bilingual and that I was never going to use the terminology that other people used. So I realized that just being me was okay. And once I got over that hurdle, I started to do better. I know it sounds like a cliche, just be you, but if you want to be a trial attorney, you have to just be you, but also get out of your own way because it's not about you. We think that it's about us. Our ego gets in the way. And you need to stop that because it's not about you, it's about your client. Justice for me, for you, is going to be to put you in a better place than you were. I get to know my clients intimately. I fight for them, and I have to believe in them. And I don't think that as a trial lawyer, you can go into court and present your client's human story without knowing who they are. One of the things I tell younger female attorneys is you have to put yourself out there. You have to ask for that case to take to trial that nobody else wants to, even if it's a loser. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Worry about the experience. And you may surprise yourself. You may get justice for your client in a case that everyone else would not have believed in. I think it's important for female attorneys to be each other's cheerleaders. And I think that if we get together as a sisterhood and prop up the ones that are shining at the moment and realizing that someone else shining doesn't take the light away from you, and it'll be your turn, and when it's your turn, you'll have a crowd of people supporting you. And I think that that's an important lesson that we all need to learn. I got here because of a combination of hard work and humility, realizing that it wasn't about me, it was about a client and working hard for them. In a sense, not wanting to let them down. Because if you fight your hardest, if you're in that trial, no matter what kind of case it is, 100%, your client sees it. Chris Dolan says it perfectly. If we put our all into the case and you leave everything out in the courtroom, then you've done your job.